The mystery of the banned Book of Enoch. The banned Book of Enoch, a text shrouded in mystery and controversy, has intrigued scholars, theologians, and historians for centuries. Its origins, the questions it raises, and its ultimate suppression have been a topic of fierce debate across multiple religions, particularly in Islam and Christianity. For those familiar with Islamic teachings, the Book of Enoch provides insight into certain aspects of the unseen world, the realms of the angels, and the ancient prophecies that have shaped human history. Yet for many, its existence remains unknown or misunderstood. This is the story of how the Book of Enoch fits into Islamic thought and why it was banned or hidden from the masses. The history of the Book of Enoch begins long before the advent of Islam, during the time of the ancient Hebrews. According to the text, Enoch was a prophet who lived before the great flood that wiped out nearly all life on earth. He was said to be the great-grandfather of Noah, and the Book of Enoch chronicles his visions, interactions with angels, and his journeys into the heavens. This mysterious book claims to reveal hidden knowledge about the cosmos, the divine, and the future of humankind. It is considered an apocryphal text, meaning it is not included in the canonical scriptures of most major religions. In Christianity, the Book of Enoch was largely excluded from the Bible. The reasons for its exclusion remain speculative. Some say that it was too controversial, dealing with topics that were too complex and difficult for early Christian leaders to reconcile with their faith. Others believe that its themes of angels, demons, and visions of the end of times were seen as too radical or contradictory to the teachings found in the canonical Bible. Nevertheless, the Book of Enoch was influential in the development of early Christian thought, and many early church fathers referenced its content, even though it was never formally accepted into the Christian canon. For Muslims, the existence of the Book of Enoch is not entirely unknown. While it is not mentioned explicitly in the Qur'an, there are numerous references to Enoch in Islamic tradition. In the Qur'an, the Prophet Enoch is known as Idris. He is regarded as a prophet and a servant of God who was granted knowledge and wisdom. There is a well-known hadith that states Idris was one of the few prophets who was taken up to the heavens before death, a detail that bears resemblance to the descriptions of Enoch's journey in the Book of Enoch. Furthermore, Idris is considered to have been a precursor to Noah, tasked with warning humanity of the impending flood. The Book of Enoch, though not included in the Qur'an, contains many parallels to Islamic teachings, particularly concerning the angelic realm and the divine order. In Islam, angels play a central role in communicating God's will to prophets and guiding humanity. The Book of Enoch delves into the realm of angels and their interaction with humanity, providing a vision of the divine order that aligns in many ways with Islamic beliefs. The text describes the Watchers, a group of angels who descend to earth, only to become corrupted and lead humanity astray. This theme of angels interacting with humanity and the consequences that follow is echoed in Islamic teachings, particularly in the story of the fallen angels, Iblis, and the jinn. Despite its relevance to Islamic thought, the Book of Enoch has been largely forgotten or dismissed in mainstream Islamic scholarship. The reasons for this are not entirely clear. Some scholars believe that the book's apocryphal status led to its neglect, while others point to the political and religious circumstances surrounding the early Islamic period. The Islamic Empire, after all, was focused on consolidating power and establishing its own religious canon, and it is possible that the Book of Enoch was seen as too controversial or conflicting with other established texts to be embraced. However, some Islamic scholars and mystics have written about the Book of Enoch, suggesting that it contains knowledge that is relevant to understanding the unseen world. The Sufis, in particular, have been known to study such texts, seeking to unlock the deeper meanings hidden within the words. Sufi scholars have suggested that the Book of Enoch provides insights into the cosmic structure of the universe, the nature of the soul, and the role of humanity in the divine plan. This mystical approach to the text aligns with the Islamic belief in the importance of esoteric knowledge and the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment. Despite these insights, the Book of Enoch remains a banned or hidden text in many parts of the world, particularly in the Islamic world. Its suppression raises the question, why was it kept from the masses? Theories abound, ranging from political control to fear of the knowledge it contained. Some suggest that the book was banned because of the power it held to challenge existing religious authorities, while others believe that the esoteric knowledge it contained was too dangerous for the general public to access. In the end, the reasons for the suppression of the Book of Enoch remain shrouded in mystery. One thing is certain, however, the Book of Enoch contains a vision of the world that is radically different from what most people are taught to believe. Its teachings challenge conventional notions of good and evil, the nature of the divine, and the purpose of human existence. It is a text that raises more questions than answers, offering a glimpse into a world that remains hidden from most people. In this sense, the Book of Enoch serves as a key to unlocking the deeper mysteries of the universe, waiting for those who are willing to seek its truth. As we explore the Quranic connection to the Book of Enoch, we begin to understand why this book was so important in ancient times and why it continues to be a subject of fascination today. The Book of Enoch provides a lens through which we can view the unseen world, revealing secrets that have been hidden for millennia. It is not just a book. It is a map of the cosmos, a guide to understanding the divine order, and a warning of the consequences that await those who fail to heed the message of the prophets. In the next part of this story, we will delve deeper into the specific connections between the Book of Enoch and Islamic teachings, uncovering the secrets it holds and examining its role in shaping the future of humanity. The Quranic insights into the Book of Enoch. The mysteries surrounding the Book of Enoch have sparked interest across many cultures and religions. Its connection to Islamic thought, while subtle, is profound. While the Quran does not mention the Book of Enoch by name, the Prophet Enoch, known as Idris in Islam, shares significant characteristics with the figure in the apocryphal text. Both were revered as righteous men who lived long before the Great Flood, and both are portrayed as possessing extraordinary knowledge and wisdom. For centuries, Islamic scholars and mystics have found links between the Quranic teachings and the themes explored in the Book of Enoch, particularly in relation to the nature of angels, divine justice, and the cosmic order. The Quran mentions Prophet Idris in Surah Maryam, where God praises him as a man of truth and a prophet. However, the details about his life, including his journeys to the heavens, are sparse. It is here that the Book of Enoch fills in the gaps, presenting a detailed account of Idris's ascension into the divine realms. According to the Book of Enoch, Enoch was taken up to the heavens by God, where he was shown the secrets of the universe, including the workings of the stars, the movements of the planets, and the hidden knowledge of the angels. This divine wisdom that Enoch gained in the heavens would later become a critical element in his teachings and warnings to humankind. In Islamic tradition, while the story of Enoch's ascension is not as detailed, there are certain parallels. The Quran mentions that Prophet Idris was raised up by God, but it does not elaborate on how or why this happened. Some scholars believe that this mysterious ascension is similar to the experience of Enoch in the Book of Enoch. Both texts suggest that these individuals were granted access to divine knowledge and that their understanding of the universe was far beyond that of ordinary humans. In Islam, the concept of divine knowledge is central. It is believed that God bestows upon his prophets knowledge that is necessary to guide humanity, often providing them with esoteric wisdom that ordinary people cannot comprehend. The Book of Enoch also emphasizes the role of angels in the cosmic order, another significant theme in Islam. Angels are central to the Islamic understanding of the world. They are messengers of God, and their role is to carry out God's will, whether it be in delivering revelations to the prophets or in guiding the faithful. The Book of Enoch explores the nature of angels, particularly the Watchers, a group of angels who descend to earth and interact with humanity. In the Book of Enoch, these angels fall from grace, teaching humanity forbidden knowledge and leading them astray. The idea of angels descending to earth and influencing humanity is echoed in Islamic teachings, especially in the story of the jinn. According to Islam, the jinn are supernatural beings created from smokeless fire, and some of them, like Iblis, Satan, defied God's will and led humans away from the path of righteousness. The connection between the fallen angels in the Book of Enoch and the Islamic understanding of Iblis and the jinn is striking. In both traditions, the beings are depicted as possessing free will, which allows them to choose to defy God. The Book of Enoch's Watchers teach humanity forbidden knowledge, while in Islam, Iblis tempts humanity to disobey God. Both narratives explore the consequences of divine rebellion, which is a theme central to both Islamic and Christian eschatology. In the Book of Enoch, the Watchers are punished for their actions, bound in chains and cast into the abyss as punishment for their sins. This image of divine retribution reflects the Islamic concept of hell and the ultimate judgment that awaits those who defy God's will. While the Book of Enoch is not included in the Quran, its themes resonate with Islamic teachings. One of the most striking connections between the two texts is the idea of divine knowledge and the role of humanity in the cosmic order. In Islam, humans are believed to be the stewards of the earth, tasked with maintaining balance and harmony. This concept is explored in the Book of Enoch, where Enoch is shown the divine order and the consequences of disrupting that order. In both traditions, the theme of accountability before God is paramount. The actions of angels, jinn, and humans all have consequences, and ultimately, they will face divine judgment. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Book of Enoch is its portrayal of the end of times. The book speaks of a final judgment where the righteous are rewarded and the wicked are punished. This apocalyptic vision is in line with Islamic eschatology, which also speaks of the day of judgment, where every soul will be held accountable for their actions. In both the Quran and the Book of Enoch, the ultimate fate of humanity is in God's hands, and it is He who will determine the outcome based on the actions of individuals during their lives. The idea of a final reckoning where the scales of justice are weighed is a central theme in both traditions. In the Quran, the theme of divine justice is intricately woven throughout the text. God is described as all-knowing and just, and His decisions regarding humanity are always fair. Similarly, the Book of Enoch stresses the idea of divine justice, particularly in its portrayal of the Watchers. The angels who defied God are punished for their actions, serving as a reminder that no one, not even beings of immense power, are exempt from divine law. This theme of accountability is a powerful message for believers, reminding them that they are responsible for their actions, and that divine justice will prevail in the end. In the second part of our exploration of the Book of Enoch's connection to Islam, we will further delve into the impact of the Book of Enoch on the development of Islamic mysticism, particularly within the Sufi tradition. Sufism, which emphasizes the pursuit of spiritual knowledge and closeness to God, has a long history of engaging with apocryphal and esoteric texts. The Book of Enoch's themes of hidden knowledge and divine wisdom resonate deeply with Sufi teachings, and many Sufi scholars have explored its messages. Stay tuned as we uncover the deeper meanings of this enigmatic text and its place in the spiritual journey of believers. The Sufi connection to the Book of Enoch. Sufism, the mystical branch of Islam, has long been associated with the pursuit of divine knowledge, seeking understanding beyond the outward teachings of the Quran. Sufi scholars and mystics have always been open to exploring hidden truths and esoteric teachings that are not immediately apparent in the mainstream religious texts. It is within this context that the Book of Enoch has found a place in Islamic mysticism. While not formally acknowledged in the Quran or Hadith, the teachings of the Book of Enoch resonate deeply with Sufi concepts of divine wisdom, spiritual ascent, and the nature of the unseen world. Sufi mysticism often speaks of the journey of the soul, which seeks to ascend through various levels of understanding and proximity to God. This journey is described in terms of seeking knowledge that is not just intellectual but experiential knowledge that transcends the ordinary perception of reality. The Book of Enoch, with its detailed description of heavenly realms and angelic beings, presents a worldview that aligns closely with Sufi beliefs in the unseen worlds and the role of angels in guiding the soul. According to Sufi thought, the knowledge imparted to prophets and mystics is not always accessible through conventional means, but is instead revealed through spiritual enlightenment and divine experience. The Book of Enoch, with its mysterious teachings about angels, the cosmos, and the future, serves as a symbolic representation of the type of knowledge that Sufis strive to attain. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Book of Enoch is its account of the Watchers angels who descend to earth and interact with humanity. These angels, according to the text, bring forbidden knowledge to humans, teaching them skills such as metallurgy, astrology, and the use of herbs for medicine. While these gifts were meant to help humanity, the Watchers' actions ultimately lead to corruption and sin. This story of fallen angels and the knowledge they impart to humankind parallels the Sufi concept of ilm laduni, a term that refers to divinely gifted knowledge that is granted to a select few. This knowledge, according to Sufi tradition, is not learned through conventional study or reasoning, but is instead a spiritual gift that is given to those who are pure of heart and devoted to God. In this sense, the forbidden knowledge brought by the Watchers in the Book of Enoch can be seen as a metaphor for this higher, esoteric knowledge that is not easily accessible to the masses, but can be granted to those on the spiritual path. The Sufi tradition often emphasizes the importance of inner purity and the heart's connection to God in the pursuit of knowledge. This mirrors the narrative in the Book of Enoch, where those who receive divine knowledge are often chosen by God based on their righteousness. The angels, in their initial state, are portrayed as pure and obedient to God, but their descent to earth and subsequent corruption reflect the dangers of misusing divine knowledge. This theme of knowledge being a double-edged sword, capable of both enlightening and corrupting, is a central motif in both Sufi mysticism and the Book of Enoch. For Sufis, the key to true knowledge lies not in the accumulation of information, but in the purification of the heart and soul, so that one can receive divine wisdom without the risk of falling into arrogance or corruption. The idea of angels descending to earth and interacting with humanity is also significant in the context of Sufi beliefs in the intermediary role of angels. In Sufi cosmology, angels are not just messengers of God, but also play a vital role in the spiritual journey of the seeker. They guide the soul through various stages of purification and help it ascend toward the divine. This is similar to the role of the Watchers in the Book of Enoch, who are portrayed as beings who bridge the gap between the heavenly and earthly realms. In both traditions, the interaction between angels and humans is a pivotal moment in the spiritual journey, providing the seeker with the opportunity to attain higher levels of understanding and connection with God. Sufi mystics often speak of the hidden knowledge or the unseen world, which is beyond the comprehension of most people. This knowledge is thought to be revealed through spiritual experience, and it is said that only those with a pure heart and a sincere longing for God can access it. The Book of Enoch, with its portrayal of hidden realms and divine secrets, is an allegory for this higher mystical knowledge that can only be accessed by those who are spiritually prepared. The angels in the Book of Enoch serve as guides to these hidden worlds, much like the spiritual guides in the Sufi tradition who lead their disciples on the path to enlightenment. Another important aspect of Sufism that resonates with the Book of Enoch is the concept of ascension. In Sufi teachings, the soul ascends to various levels of understanding and spiritual purification. This ascension is not just a physical journey, but a spiritual one, where the seeker transcends the limitations of the material world and gains access to the divine. The Book of Enoch, with its depiction of Enoch's ascent to the heavens, mirrors this idea of spiritual ascension. In the Book of Enoch, Enoch is taken up to the heavens and shown the secrets of the universe, including the future of humanity and the ultimate fate of the wicked. This divine revelation, which Enoch receives in the heavenly realms, is similar to the Sufi concept of spiritual ascension, where the seeker is shown hidden truths about the nature of existence and the divine plan. The themes of spiritual ascent and the pursuit of divine knowledge in the Book of Enoch have not only resonated with Sufi scholars but have also influenced Islamic esoteric teachings. One of the most important aspects of Sufi mysticism is the idea of attaining closeness to God through direct experience, something that can only be achieved by transcending the material world. The Book of Enoch's portrayal of Enoch's spiritual journey reflects this desire to move beyond the confines of earthly existence and access higher planes of consciousness. This connection between the Book of Enoch and Sufi teachings underscores the deep spiritual wisdom that both traditions seek to impart, that the true path to enlightenment lies in seeking knowledge that transcends the physical world, and that this knowledge is revealed only to those who are prepared to receive it. In the next part of our journey through the Book of Enoch and its connection to Islam, we will explore the themes of divine judgment, the consequences of humanity's actions, and the ultimate fate of those who defy God's will. These themes are central to both the Islamic faith and the Book of Enoch, and they offer valuable insights into the nature of the divine and the responsibility that humanity bears in the eyes of God. Stay tuned as we continue to uncover the mysteries of this ancient text and its relevance to the spiritual journey of believers. Divine judgment and the consequences of humanity's actions. The themes of divine judgment and the ultimate fate of humanity are central to both the Quran and the Book of Enoch. Both texts emphasize the idea that humanity is accountable for its actions and that those who deviate from the path of righteousness will face divine retribution. This theme of judgment serves as a constant reminder of the consequences of moral choices, urging believers to live in accordance with the divine will. In the Book of Enoch, the final judgment is not only a personal reckoning but also a cosmic event, where the forces of good and evil are ultimately separated, and the righteous are rewarded while the wicked are punished. Similarly, the Quran frequently speaks of the Day of Judgment, where every soul will be held accountable for its deeds. In the Book of Enoch, the angels who descended to earth, known as the Watchers, are punished for their transgressions. These angels, who were meant to be divine servants, corrupted humanity by teaching forbidden knowledge and leading people astray. As a result of their actions, they are cast into the abyss, awaiting the final judgment. This narrative reflects the broader theme of accountability found in the Quran, where those who defy God's commands face severe consequences. The fallen angels in the Book of Enoch serve as a warning that even those with great power are not exempt from divine justice. Idea of divine justice is also explored in the Quran, particularly in the context of the Day of Judgment. In Islamic tradition, every individual will be judged based on their deeds during their lifetime. Those who have lived righteously and in submission to God will be rewarded with eternal paradise, while those who have chosen to live in disobedience will be punished in hell. This emphasis on personal responsibility aligns closely with the teachings in the Book of Enoch, where individuals are held accountable for their actions, and divine judgment is a fundamental part of the cosmic order. Both texts suggest that the ultimate fate of an individual is determined by the choices they make, emphasizing the importance of living a life of virtue, humility, and obedience to the divine will. The Book of Enoch further emphasizes the concept of divine judgment through its portrayal of the Watchers and their eventual punishment. The Watchers, once powerful angels, are bound and cast into the abyss as punishment for their rebellion. This punishment is not just a personal consequence for their actions, but also serves as a cosmic reminder of the consequences of defying God's order. The idea of a divine reckoning for those who stray from the path of righteousness is deeply ingrained in both Islamic and Judeo-Christian traditions, and the Book of Enoch provides a vivid portrayal of the cosmic consequences of such rebellion. The Watchers are not just punished for their actions, but are also cast as an example for all to see, warning future generations of the dangers of defying divine authority. In the Qur'an, the consequences of defying God's will are made clear in various verses that describe the fate of the disbelievers and the righteous. The Qur'an warns of the severe consequences awaiting those who turn away from God, emphasizing that they will be held accountable for their actions on the Day of Judgment. Similar to the punishment of the Watchers in the Book of Enoch, the Qur'an describes the fate of those who reject God's guidance, highlighting the eternal torment they will face in hell. The Qur'an repeatedly stresses the importance of following the path of righteousness and submitting to the divine will, as those who fail to do so will ultimately face divine retribution. One of the most striking similarities between the Qur'an and the Book of Enoch is their portrayal of the divine judgment as a cosmic event. Both texts describe a final reckoning where the forces of good and evil are separated, and the righteous are rewarded while the wicked are punished. In the Book of Enoch, the final judgment is a grand cosmic event, where the angels who led humanity astray are cast into the abyss, and the righteous are elevated to their rightful place. Similarly, in the Qur'an, the Day of Judgment is described as a time when the dead will be resurrected and judged according to their deeds. Those who have lived righteous lives will be rewarded with paradise, while those who have turned away from God will be cast into hell. In both traditions, the concept of divine justice is closely tied to the idea of mercy. While the punishment of the wicked is emphasized, both the Qur'an and the Book of Enoch also highlight the mercy of God. In the Qur'an, God's mercy is described as encompassing everything, and it is through His mercy that believers are saved from eternal punishment. This mercy is extended to those who repent and seek forgiveness for their sins, emphasizing the importance of humility and submission to God's will. Similarly, in the Book of Enoch, while the fallen angels are punished for their rebellion, the righteous are shown mercy and are ultimately rewarded for their faithfulness to God's commands. This balance between justice and mercy is a central theme in both texts, reminding believers that while God's judgment is just and inevitable, His mercy is always available to those who seek it. The punishment of the Watchers in the Book of Enoch serves as a reminder of the consequences of disobedience, but it also highlights the importance of repentance and the opportunity for redemption. In the Qur'an, God's mercy is always available to those who turn to Him in repentance, and it is through His mercy that believers are granted eternal salvation. The Book of Enoch and the Qur'an both emphasize the idea that the ultimate fate of humanity lies in the hands of God. In the end, it is God who will determine who is rewarded and who is punished, based on the choices they made in life. This recognition of divine authority and the ultimate power of God is a core aspect of both traditions. While the details of divine judgment may differ between the Qur'an and the Book of Enoch, the underlying message is the same, that humanity is responsible for its actions, and that the final judgment is in the hands of the Creator. In the final Part of this exploration of the Book of Enoch and its connection to Islam, we will examine the legacy of this ancient text and its impact on both Islamic and Western thought. We will explore how the Book of Enoch has influenced various religious and spiritual traditions, and consider the lasting impact it has had on our understanding of divine justice, mercy, and the role of humanity in the divine plan. Stay with us as we continue to unravel the mysteries of the Book of Enoch and its timeless teachings. The end.